So, which episode was that? I was too busy being pissed to remember. Was that episode 3? Okay, yeah. I think it was. Yeah, it was. Okay. Hump those chicken legs. The Tower of Hanoi's breaking. Link brains into little bitty bits. Yeah, it looks dead. It looks very, very dead. But I love the background. I love the background. Isn't it lovely? God, I'm insane. I am so insane. So Link brains is, breaking down, but, it might not be over just yet. There's the tower. That's where we'll find Boris. We're almost there. Almost is correct. We finally meet, Playmaker. You can call me Spectre. We have no time for you. Then you should open your schedule and pencil me in. And because I stand between you and the tower. And when I win, I'll do to you exactly what I did to Blue Angel. What are you saying? You want to insult my gender? Do you realize how many times I've had to see female characters get sidelined? All of that rage is still building inside of me as one man wants to pass a bill that sidelines me, and he thinks he will get away with it. But that rage is just, it will not die. And when I win, I'll do exactly to you what I did to Blue Angel. That's villainese for saying he defeated her. I thought you said you don't speak villainese. Did you just read off screen and learn it? Quite correct. And without having to exert much effort either. Bitch, if we had a rematch, I'm sure she would kill you. What do you mean she's too nice for that? Well, if I was writing this script, Spectre would have been dead. He would have been dead. Although he would have had more screen time before he died. So there is that. He would have been humiliated, even worse than Blue Angel was. Also, there would be more female characters if I wrote this. I mean, just saying, I don't sideline my own gender. I don't do that. Why would I do that? That'd be stupid. And there was so much effort involved. And don't be a bitch. I will grab my knife and stab you with it. I left her in a state true to her name. The kind of blue you feel after being completely defeated. And bitch, I will make sure your skin turns blue. Ah, yes, this knife. I remember when I got it back. It was when I dueled Vector. Ah, yes. Such lovely memories. Of being in pain. She's been reduced to data. The more suffering I spread, the more suffering that I spread, the more joy I feel. Oh. Dude, I can spread more suffering than you. I'm in the middle of a villain arc. You're just the second in command. You're the second in command. But on my channel, I am the one that gets to be the villain. The one that causes suffering. And the one that will show up and piss someone off just because I can. I am so mad. I am so mad, can you tell? Can you tell? I hope he's suffering right now. I would love to hear about it. I would love to hear about it. I've got no shame at all. And just wait until I upload Alistair's rerun. It will probably be when I get provoked next. In which, let's see, it's been less than 24 hours. I might upload it tonight. I mean, it really just depends. Not really that bad, but I kind of have to sound like a villain on some level, or this really isn't a villain arc. So why do I have to sound like a villain? Because of someone that actually exists? I'm having an existential crisis. I have one question for you. Why do you fight? Oh, I can tell you why I fight. I fight so this planet gets to continue existing. Well, with life on it, that is. Oh, such a simple, basic question. I fight for Varus, naturally. And dude, this guy is... Oh, I swear he must be a yandere. Not the biggest one I've seen, honestly, but definitely still a yandere. You want me to view Spectre like he's straight? No, he's not. He's not. That's not an insult, he's just not. I'm not insulting him, he's just not straight. Why would you fight for Varus? Come back in 10 years and the two will probably be married or some shit. Don't you know what Varus has done? All the people he's hurt? And you think Spectre cares? He was laughing his ass off when Blue Angel was dying. He doesn't give two shits about anyone except Varus. And it's not just now. He's been ruining lives for a decade. Oh wow. I remember in 2016 I was in pain. I recovered long enough to vote for a woman. She was defeated. And then I voted again. And only the old white man won. Do you know how infuriating that is? Why the fuck do you guys never learn? Seriously. Why would someone be so stupid as to trust someone that has already been... We're in this position because some people were too stupid to think for themselves. Too fucking stupid. And I will not stop until I see that regime fall. Anyway, the person I'm talking about has been ruining lives for several decades. I wouldn't be surprised if that's most of his life. It's always the ones who have never suffered true tragedy that can speak of it so callously. It's always the ones who have never suffered true tragedy that can speak of it so callously. I mean, yeah. That's kind of what we're dealing with here. A bunch of privileged bastards that haven't dealt with actual tragedy. They don't even know pain. If they love the pain, they just love it. They love seeing people suffer. And they love seeing people suffer. And you know what? If that lack of empathy and that lack of sympathy, all that shit just, it brings out the worst in me. I become a huge bitch. And sometimes even an enemy, if you call me that. Okay, listen, I fall into a number of categories that Trump would say makes me his enemy. I mean, I certainly didn't decide I am, but he decided it himself because I fall into these categories. I am anti-fascist. I am pro-freedom of religion. Unless you try to destroy people's rights. I hate capitalism. And, what was the other one? I'm definitely against this government, but not necessarily the government in general. And just when the government is corrupt, which to Trump means I'm an enemy of his. Okay, sure. Just try and find me. I don't have much of a reach. I don't have much of a reach, so I can't be a media offender. Because my reach is just so low. That is where you are very much incorrect. Because I have endured as much suffering as you. No, you have not. You enjoyed that incident. You enjoyed the entire thing. No, that is not the same as suffering as much as he has. It's a different kind of suffering. And you have no idea what real suffering is. You just think you do because you are part of this same incident where you know what? You know what? If you enjoyed something, you are not traumatized by it. You can't be traumatized by something you enjoyed the entire time. I know of the Lost incident, when 6 kids were taken and isolated from society. Yes, and you enjoyed it. You enjoyed it. Like, most people would be traumatized, but you... I mean, honestly, I don't even want to know what you're into. These children were locked in separate rooms, ensuring they were kept apart from each other. Had they been able to see one another, you would know that my face belonged to one of the... Had they been able to see one another, you would know that my face belonged to one of those children. Ah, glitch. You're one of the taken? That's correct. Just like you. Although my takeaway from that event differs from yours. Why would you ever join the Knights of Hanoi? And why did the chicken cross the road? It doesn't matter! Oh, that's my... Dude, I love that response to that joke. It matters because they put us through agony. Agony? I felt no agony. That's why it wasn't a trauma. That's why you didn't feel as much suffering as the rest of them. Because you felt no agony. As someone who grew up in an orphanage, no one wanted to play with me. It was as if I was a specter. Are you sure that's why no one wanted to play with you? Maybe you were just... I mean, I don't even want to know. But there is some shit in your brain and I don't want to know about it. Until the Lost incident. Until the Lost incident. Someone finally took an interest in me. And being locked in a room was nice. Dude, it warps your brain! It was nice? It was horrible! Was it? This is where our opinions diverge. For the first time ever, someone was focusing on me, wanting to learn how skilled I was. Their training methods were a bit harsh, but at the end of the day, it did make me a better duelist. I no longer felt alone. I learned not to fear pain, but to embrace it as a sort of joyful comfort. Someone send this man to the graveyard. Someone send this man to the graveyard! This must all sound a bit out there to someone such as yourself, Playmaker. It is! Honestly, as someone who's devoted his life to getting revenge for the exact thing that I'm celebrating. Well, this is some timing. Oh god. Dude, are you celebrating? Oh my god. Nah, it doesn't sound out there. It sounds insane. I agree with I. Honestly. You know, I has more emotions and regard for other people. Dude, I is better at being human than some humans. Let me just remind you of who's in charge. In charge in quotations, because I don't really think I don't know if you can call that governing. Is he dead yet? No. All right. I'm returning to the game. But alas, all good times had to come to an end. But alas, all good times had to come to an end when they rescued me against my will. I don't think they understand that it was against your will because kids are not really viewed as people. But also, you were just so young that your will wasn't really... Dude, you were so fucked up. And though I think that incident would have fucked me up even more. You really have no qualms with the Knights of Hanoi? Why would I? Varys gave me a home. And you call me the strange one. Oh, listen, I'm not hating on you because you're strange. I just think you're fucked up. And the fact that you didn't enjoy the Lost incident, I don't know what to say. I'm going to be honest with you, Spectre. There's a reason that you created the Earth Ignis. Because you remained stable throughout all of it. And let's see, how much let me see what I can say about the other victims and why they created the elements they did. Okay, so lightning is inferior because his origin was the most damaged by the incident. And Windy, I don't want to spoil it, but that was fucked up. That was seriously fucked up. I can't tell. I just don't know. And the water Ignis, emotions maybe? I don't know. I don't know. The power of love! Okay, you know what? I just made that up. I don't know, man. And then there's Flame. I really do not need to explain that one. Soulburner has a temper. Soulburner's temper is, well, mine's worse now. Mine is worse now. I criticized him for being so pissed, and then I became worse. And Playmaker created the Dark Ignis because now he's on a rampage he's on a vengeful rampage. when you are consumed by revenge, you start creating dark things. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna be honest. Humans are just full of darkness. And I'm pretty sure that Playmaker is traumatized as fuck. And you know what trauma does to you? It really makes you dark as fuck sometimes. The fact that you didn't enjoy the last incident, I don't know what to say. Playmaker retains some ability to be normal, apparently. Now listen, I'm not saying that Playmaker is normal, because obviously I like people that are not so normal. In fact, what even is normal? I don't think I'd understand even if I looked it up in the dictionary. You can say that it ruins my life. Yeah, that would create the darkness. Just having our life ruined. Yeah, I remember when my life was ruined. I just read something, it was terrible. For some people, happiness doesn't come from rainbows and lollipops. It comes from grit and grime. Okay, listen. I know you're a bit of a masochist, but seriously, stop broadcasting it. Your Playmaker, will you kill him? There's no point in trying to reason with this guy. He doesn't have any reason in the first place. Are you talking about the president, I mean, seriously, pretty much the same thing. He has no reason as far as I'm concerned. You just can't reason with him. You can't reason with the president because he'll just... He won't do anything you say. If you waste any more time, that tower will be completed. Am I right or am I right? Say I'm right. Oh, shut up. You are... let's duel. Yes, let's. Let's have our cards settle our differences. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap things up for this video. I'm going to check which episode I'm on because I forgot. I was just rambling for a bit because I am angry and infuriated and traumatized. Honestly.